Hey everyone! For today's video, I would really like to use my new Mario Master Palette Ultimate Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just got these bad boys in the mail the other day and they are amazing. I used them both yesterday and the palette, like seriously, the colors honestly blend themselves. They're amazing, they're pigmented, they're buttery. They're amazing, and this glow kit is quite enormous. I didn't realize how big this glow kit was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like the size of the Moonchild, and I mean, this is plenty big, but this thing is huge. But yeah, so you get there are 6 shades, and they are quite goldy, and then there's Snow, which is like the really white fair one. They're all really pretty. They take a little bit extra building, I find, than like the Moonchild Glow Kit. Like I feel like you have to build them up a little bit more, but they're still really pretty. And they almost have a more natural vibe to them. So if you wanted to have kind of like a natural looking sheen versus like a full-on glow, this would be like perfect for that kind of look. I actually used this palette yesterday and I kind of just did a really sultry kind of smoky look. And I really liked how it turned out actually, so I thought I'd just recreate it on a video to give you guys maybe some ideas, like if you have this palette and not really sure what to do with it. So something like that, it might be helpful, and I don't know, but I'm just gonna get right into it, and I'm so excited because this palette's amazing. So let's get into it. So for primer, I'm actually gonna mix 2 together. I'm going to mix the Sephora Beauty Amplifier and the Dr. Brandt Pores No More. These both just kind of, I don't know, they work really well on my skin type, so I just have been mixing them together and they've been working pretty well for me. For foundation today, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. And my shade is Vanilla, in case you were wondering. The shade is almost a little bit yellow for me, but I just put less of it on at a time, so it works out. So I apologize if I appear moderately orange on camera. I'm gonna go in with my Sephora concealer. This one's called Bright Future, and this is a color correcting one, and this one is Peach. It's just Peach Light. And I'm just gonna use that for like the inner like corners of my under eye, just because they can be a little purpley sometimes. And then I'm just going to go over that with my Sephora. This is just the regular concealer, and this is called Buttercream. In case you guys are wondering, I actually really like the Sephora brand concealer. It's been working really well for me. It lasts like a long time. I don't have a problem with it like separating or getting chunky on my skin. Has decent amount of coverage and it blends out really nicely. So if you're looking for other like concealer options, I would definitely try the Sephora one. I mean, it's the more affordable one. I think it's like $14, but I really like it. So something to keep in mind. Okay, now I'm going to set just kind of like my under eye concealer and like the sides of my nose with my Kat Von D translucent setting powder. I'm going to make an attempt to moderately bake my under eyes. Every time I try baking it, half the time it ends up, or most of the time it ends up pretty chunky, so let's try to not F this up. I guess it's not like full on baking, but it's the same idea. Gonna dust that off. I'm just gonna set the rest of my face with my Bare Minerals Translucent Powder Duo, and then there's a glowy and a matte side, and I'm just gonna use them both. So now now that I am all set in place, I'm going to bronze, and I'm just going to use this mini Hoola bronzer. I actually really like this. I just got this in like a Sephora Perks thing, so I'm just using it up. Next, I'm going to contour with my handy dandy Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D, and I'm going to start off with this shade, and then I'm going to deepen it up with this shade. like I always do. A bit down my nose. Then I'm actually going to buff in some of the yellow and that light shade there to kind of help just I'm going to buff in that yellow and that pink shade just to kind of sharpen up my contour on the bottom and just kind of highlight the under eye area a little bit more. Alright, now that my face is complete, I'm going to start working on my brows so I can cut them bitches out. So first I'm just going to go in with my Benefit Kabrow. And the shade that I use is shade 3. Should I use thick or thinner brows today? I think... Fuck it, I'll just do thick brows. Okay, so now that I have like the general outline, I'm just going to go in with my Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. Oh. I think someone is doing leaf blowing outside, so if you hear that, I apologize. Guess we're going for really dark brows today. I'm just gonna set my brows with my Gimme Brow by Benefit as well, and I'm just using the shade 1. Okay, so my brows are thick, dark, and ready to cut a bitch. So it's time to move on to the eyeshadow. Just kidding, I gotta prime first. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. eye primer and liner sealer. I'm just using the primer end. And I'm just going to set my primer with my Kat Von D powder again. Okay, now onto the eyeshadow. So let's break this bad boy in. First, for my crease shade, I'm going to start with Isabel, and this is like just kind of a warm orangey kind of tone brown. I'm just going to buff that all in my crease. So next I'm going to layer, I think it's Lula, the shade right here. I'm just going to buff that kind of on the underside of where I buffed Isabel. So then I'm going to deepen that crease even more with Violetta, I think it's called. Violetta, the shade right here, this kind of darker warm tone brown. I'm just gonna buff that right into Lula. So then I'm gonna go in with that first color and just kind of buff over everything just to make sure everything is seamless. Okay, so now I'm going to build up on my bottom lash line. I'm going to start with this little fluffy angled brush, and I'm going to start with Isabel, then Lula, and then Violetta, just like I did with my upper lid, my crease or whatever. I'm just going to build these 3 colors underneath. So first I'm starting with Isabel here. I'm just bringing that up, making sure that's connecting with my upper eyeshadow there. And then I'm gonna go on top with Lula. I'm also kind of dragging it down, just kind of smoke it out a little bit more. And then I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer to the lash line with Violetta. Okay, so now I'm going to pack a darker shade on my lid. So I'm going to be packing Claudia right there, and I'm just going to be taking the like more dense end of the brush that comes in with the palette, and I'm just going to pack that onto my lid. And get fallout all over my face. Cool. And I'm just packing this all over my lid and bringing it up into my crease shades there. And I'm also going to drag it underneath into my lash line, my bottom lash line there. Now for my bottom lash line, to help kind of smoke out those shades even more, I'm going to just take Violetta and Isabel and just mix those two together and then just drag them kind of under where I built up that Claudia. Back in with Claudia and pack even more onto my eyelid. Okay, so now I'm actually going to put Fifth Avenue. I'm going to use that as my inner corner shade. I'm just gonna pack it right inside here and just blend it into the rest of my eyeshadow. I'm just gonna do a thin line of eyeliner on my top lash line. I'm just using my Sephora Fine Line liquid eyeliner. So now I'm actually going to line my waterline, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Aqua Eye Pencil XL, and this is the shade M60. This is just a really dark brown, basically. I'm just lining the waterline and kind of smudging it down into my lash line. And I'm not bringing it all the way into my inner corner. I'm stopping just like right where that kind of goldy shade starts, that Fifth Avenue shade starts. Because if I bring it all the way into my inner corner, it just kind of will defeat that little highlight, and it just kind of, I feel like, closes my eye off even more. And I prefer my eyes to look quite open. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara and just put a nice thick layer to thicken up my lashes. Okay, so while my mascara is drying, I'm actually going to just try to do the rest of my face before I put my falsies on. So for blush, I'm going to use the NARS Galooly, I think is what it's called, but it's kind of like the shade, just kind of like a deep kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a deep berry reddish kind of color. I don't know, it's really, really pretty. So I'm gonna put it on. Now I am going to glow up with my new glow kit. So I think I'm going to go in with Amber Gold, and I think this one has, it's still pretty goldy, but I think it has a little bit more of a like pink tone to it. I'm basically just going to be really irresponsible again and just go ham with my highlight there. Yeah, girl. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Have a really, really metallic Cupid's bow today. I'm down a little bit just on the forehead here. And I think I'm gonna top it. I think I'll top a little bit of the Gold Dawn on top of that. I'm just going to use some Ardell Wispies lashes just because these kind of add a nice little bit of volume and length, but they still look relatively natural. And I don't want to take away from the eye too much, like the actual eyeshadow. So I'm just going to go in with some simple wispies. So I mean, this look could have a bold and a nude lip and it would look good, I think, either way. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to do kind of a nudish pink like that, I guess. So I'm going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in Pure Hollywood, but first I'm going to line my lips with Colourpop Tootsie. And that is the finished look, guys. I hope you like it. I mean, it's pretty smoky, but it's actually pretty easy to achieve. It's just a lot of different layering. But yeah, like I said, this palette, like the colors blend so nicely and flawlessly. So definitely something to add to the collection, I think. But yeah, I hope this is helpful. Like if you have the palette and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure what looks to create with it. I hope maybe this will give you an idea. Good starting point. I don't know. So let me just zoom in so you can see the eyeballs a little bit better. So yeah, just really deep and smoky, and I mean, you could obviously lighten it up more if you wanted. And then I think the wispies go okay with this look. Like I said, I didn't want them to take away from the actual eyeshadow, but they also enhance at the same time. So yeah, and I think, like I said, this look can really carry a dark or light lip color, but I mean, so change whatever lip shade you would want to use with these. But anyway, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. So anyway, I hope you guys like this, and I will see you next time.